Countries that plan to officially use cryptocurrency. Politicians from various Latin American countries have begun asking for the acceptance of Bitcoin as legal cash, following El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele. Inflation, dependency on the US dollar, and a mechanism to promote tech entrepreneurship drive interest in cryptocurrency. So let's take a look at which other countries worldwide are planning to officially use cryptocurrency in the future. This is Big Brain Money. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. The United States. Although various government authorities are working to prohibit or decrease Bitcoin used for unlawful activities, the United States has maintained a generally supportive position toward Bitcoin. Bitcoin is accepted by well-known companies such as Dish Network or Dish, Microsoft, Subway, and Overstock. The digital currency has also made its way into the U.S. markets, contributing to its legitimacy. Since 2013, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN, of the United States Department of Treasury has issued recommendations on Bitcoin. The Treasury has classified Bitcoin as a money services business rather than a currency. This brings it into compliance with the Bank Secrecy Act, which mandates that exchanges and payment processors follow specific reporting, registration, and record-keeping requirements. In addition, the International Revenue Service, or the IRS, classifies Bitcoin as property for tax purposes. Canada. Canada, like its southern neighbor the United States, takes a generally pro-Bitcoin position while also guaranteeing that cryptocurrency is not utilized for money laundering. The Canada Revenue Agency, or CRA, considers Bitcoin to be an asset. This means that Bitcoin transactions are recognized as barter transactions, and the revenue generated is classified as company revenue. Taxation differs depending on whether the individual is involved in a buying and selling firm or is solely interested in investing. Bitcoin exchanges are classified as money service businesses in Canada. As a result, they're subject to anti-money laundering or AML regulations. Bitcoin exchanges must register with FinTrack, suspicious report transactions, follow compliance strategies, and preserve certain records. In addition, some large Canadian banks have prohibited using their credit or debit cards for Bitcoin transactions. Australia. Bitcoin is neither money nor a foreign currency in Australia, according to the Australian Taxation Office, or ATO, which classifies it as a material for capital gains tax purposes. The Commonwealth Bank announced that users of its CommBank app will trade cryptocurrencies, making it the first of Australia's Big Four banks to do so. CBA estimates that roughly 500,000 of its customers are already crypto traders based on account data. We believe we can play a vital role in crypto to answer what's clearly a rising consumer need and provide capabilities, security, and confidence in a crypto trading platform, CBA CEO Matt Common said in a statement. In a few weeks, the bank will invite 2,000 customers to participate in a test program that will allow them to buy, hold, and trade cryptocurrency via the CBA phone app. The European Union. The European Court of Justice, or ECJ, declared on October 22, 2015 that purchasing and selling digital currencies is deemed a provision of services and is therefore exempt from VAT in all European Union or EU member states. Furthermore, certain EU member states have formed their own Bitcoin policies. By defining Bitcoin as a financial service, the Central Board of Taxes, or CBT in Finland, has granted it VAT exemption. In Finland, Bitcoin is also treated as a product rather than a currency. Bitcoin has already been declared VAT-free by Belgium's Federal Public Services Finance. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority, or FCA, is pro-Bitcoin and wants the regulatory environment to support the digital currency. In the United Kingdom, Bitcoin is subject to specific tax regulations. Bulgaria's National Revenue Agency, or NRA, has also included Bitcoin in its existing tax laws. In Germany, Bitcoin is legal, but it is taxed differently depending on whether the authorities work with exchanges, miners, businesses, or users. Paraguay. Congressman Carlitos Rehala of Paraguay was the first Latin American politician to introduce interest outside of El Salvador. In a tweet, the president urged the country to progress with its next generation. Grijalva also stated that he would be proposing a measure to Congress this month to make Bitcoin legal in Paraguay. He also suggested that the country mine Bitcoin using its hydroelectric resources. Panama. After hearing about the movement in El Salvador, a lawmaker from Panama made similar remarks on Twitter. Gabriel Silva, a member of Congress, he stated that Panama must not be left behind and intends to offer similar legislation. This is crucial, and Panama cannot afford to fall behind. If we want to be a true technology and entrepreneurial center, we must promote cryptocurrencies. We will be creating a plan to present at the Assembly, and if you're interested in helping build it, please contact me, Silva added. Brazil. On Twitter, Fabio Osterman, a state deputy for the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul, joined in with his laser eyes and shared a message from the popular Bitcoin account documenting Bitcoin. Osterman had added laser eyes showing support for Bitcoin, according to the Documenting Bitcoin page. According to the Brazil Crypto Report, Brazil's central bank president Roberto Campos Neto stated that his institution will regulate cryptocurrencies first as an investment and then as a means of payment due to overwhelming public demand for the investment use case. The plan, first submitted by Ribeiro in 2015 and must be passed by deputies in the Senate before becoming law, aims to regulate cryptocurrency exchanges and businesses by requiring them to register with an as-yet unnamed federal organization. The measure would also toughen up on people who use cryptocurrency for money laundering, frauds, and pyramid schemes, the latter of which has become a widespread kind of fraud in Brazil. If the bill passes, cryptocurrencies will no longer be used to control frequent flyer programs. The meaning and terminology of virtual assets will be changed. In a word, the law seeks to establish a system that would allow for improved Bitcoin trading monitoring and prevent tax evasion and fraud. Mexico. In a gesture of support of Mexico, Senator Indira Kempes-Diay added laser eyes to her Twitter profile and shared some Bitcoin-related posts. First, they ignore you. Then suddenly, Paraguay, Argentina, Panama, Brazil, El Salvador, and Nicaragua embrace Bitcoin, Tyler Winklevoss tweeted. Mexico has joined Latin America in the Bitcoin journey. Hopefully, Indira Kempes follows through with her laser eyes and helps introduce legislation to bring the Bitcoin standard to Mexico. Thank you for starting this revolution, Nayib Bukele. Fascinating times are ahead, wrote writer Derek Ross in a tweet. There is a legislative framework in Mexico with a so-called fintech law, which covers the cryptocurrency market, which is a significant fact that has transformed this type of investing. The Bank of Mexico and the National Banking and Securities Commission, or CNBV, have accepted blockchain technology for transactions from some institutions and remittances. CryptCEN, a Spanish company, is attempting to increase the usage of cryptocurrencies in Mexico by attempting to become a solution for people to integrate this mechanism into their daily lives by allowing them to save, pay, spend, send, and share. It aims to emphasize the use of cryptocurrencies rather than their investment, like their massification with more everyday uses for Mexicans. It's the first country in Latin America where this country will set up shop, with plans to expand across the continent in order to maintain its rapid growth. Most nations have yet to make a firm decision on cryptocurrencies' legality, opting instead for a wait-and-see attitude. By establishing some regulatory control, some governments have indirectly agreed to the lawful usage of it. El Salvador is the only country that recognizes Bitcoin as legal money as of June 2021. Furthermore, some cryptocurrencies may qualify as securities, depending on how investors anticipate profit and how they are constructed. So that's it for today. This is Big Brain Money, ecstatic to provide what your gray matter needs most: power through knowledge. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, then ring the notification bell. For more power on the topic of cryptocurrency, be sure to check out previous videos from Big Brain Money, like the metaverse and cryptocurrency, efficient hacks to increase your crypto portfolio, and much, much more.